Have you ever felt like you're invisible? You put in the effort, send the texts, make the calls, but somehow, no matter what you do, you're still treated like an option, not a priority. Maybe they don't notice your worth. Maybe they don't appreciate everything you do for them. You try your best, but they still pull away, becoming more distant and indifferent. And in that moment, you feel not only the sting of being overlooked, but the burning question: why am I always the one reaching? Why am I always the one trying? It's painful, right? And it's exhausting. But here's the truth. This isn't about you not being enough. This is about how they see you. And guess what? You have the power to change that. You're about to learn how to shift the power in your relationships, how to go from being an option in their life to becoming their only choice. Not through begging or pleading, not through chasing more of their attention, but by changing how they perceive you. So let's dive into this. 1. Create intrigue, not predictability. People don't chase what they think they already have. When they feel like they've figured you out, the chase is over. The attraction fades. That's why the first step is to become unpredictable. Mystery is magnetic. Think about it. When was the last time you were truly intrigued by someone? It wasn't because they were always around or predictable in every way. It was because they had a depth, an air of mystery, something you couldn't quite figure out. And that's the energy you need to create. Here's what you do. Don't always be available. Stop letting them have you figured out. Instead, leave room for them to wonder. Be present, but not at their beck and call. When you introduce mystery into your interactions, you'll spark curiosity. And when curiosity kicks in, they can't help but be drawn to you. 2. Absence makes you irreplaceable. Here's a game-changing truth. Absence creates value. It sounds counterintuitive, right? But think about it. When you're always available, when you're always around, people forget how much they need you. They take you for granted. But when you create space, when you pull back a little, you give them the chance to miss you. You make them realize what they had when you were there. Absence makes them realize your presence is something they can't afford to lose. It's not about disappearing on purpose to punish them. It's about creating space for them to reflect. It's about showing that your time, your energy, and your attention are precious. The more you let them feel the void your absence creates, the more they'll realize just how much they need you. 3. Stop chasing. Start living. You've been chasing their approval, their attention, their love for far too long. But here's a secret. People don't chase what they already have access to. When you stop chasing them, when you stop bending to their whims, you create an entirely different dynamic. Instead of constantly reaching out or trying to win their attention, focus on building your own life. Pursue your passions, invest in your growth, and make your life so rich and fulfilling that their attention is drawn to you naturally. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence, who have a full and compelling life. When you're busy living your life to the fullest, they can't help but be intrigued by your energy. Don't chase them. Build a life so amazing that they have to chase you. 4. Sculpt your identity like a masterpiece. Imagine walking into a museum and standing before a piece of art so powerful it demands your attention. It doesn't scream for it. It doesn't beg for it. It simply is, and its presence is undeniable. That's what you need to become. You are not an option in someone's life. You are a masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Right now, you might feel like a rough stone, unpolished. But beneath that surface, you are a work of art, full of potential. Every decision you make, every action you take, is shaping you into a person who commands respect. People don't chase what's ordinary. They chase what's extraordinary. They chase what's rare. And you are that rare gem. You need to start sculpting your life like an artist creating a masterpiece. You are the sculptor, and you get to decide what kind of person you want to become. Stop giving away pieces of yourself to people who don't value them. Instead, mold yourself into someone they can't afford to lose. 5. Balance closeness with distance. Here's the secret to becoming unforgettable. You need to balance being close enough to create interest, but distant enough to keep them wanting more. When you're always around, always accessible, people can lose interest. But when you create space, when you pull back a little, you trigger that natural instinct to want what's just out of reach. You become the person they can't stop thinking about. It's not about playing games. It's about creating a dynamic that keeps them intrigued and invested in discovering more about you. The key is strategic distance, being there enough to spark interest, but distant enough that they never feel like they have you figured out. 6. Choose yourself first. The most important rule in all of this is simple. Choose yourself first. The moment you start choosing yourself, your happiness, your growth, your peace, you stop being the one who chases. You stop being the one who begs for attention. You stop being the backup plan. When you choose yourself, when you start valuing your own time and energy, you send a message to the world. I am valuable. I am enough. And guess what? People start treating you like you are. They start seeing your worth. They start seeing you as someone they can't afford to lose. You are unforgettable. When you start applying these principles, creating intrigue, embracing absence, living a full life, sculpting your identity, and choosing yourself, you'll make yourself irresistible. You'll go from being an option to becoming the only choice. But here's the most important part. You're not doing this to manipulate or play games. You're doing this to step into your own power, to stop being overlooked, and to become someone who commands respect and attention without ever having to beg for it. This is your moment. You are unforgettable.